Evening everyone, how we doing? Hope you're all well. Let me know who's here then. Nice to see some of the regulars here. Simon's here, but he's contractually obliged to be here. Who else is here then? Simon Marroos is here, evening. Ben Smith says, how do we link in? I've put the link on the comments if you haven't seen it yet, mate. Give me a shout if you haven't. Jonathan says, I'm on my quiz, it hasn't started yet. No, we'll start it when I give the heads up to the quiz master. Just waiting for a few more people to get involved and stuff like that as usual. We normally have a bit of a chat beforehand as well, which is what we're going to do now. So evening everyone, evening Simon Morris, good to see you again. How are we all doing? Let me all know what you're drinking. Bottle of pale ale again as usual. And I'm hoping, by the way, that last week's winner is in. Dan Barnes is here. Evening, Dan. How you doing, mate? If you haven't already, please go and check out Dan's blog on Twitter, Clarets Talk. If I remember rightly, if I've got that wrong, Dan, please do give me a bit of a clip round the ear roll. Maurice is on Beer Moretti again. Simon says he thought it was knackered. Sorry, Jonathan says he thought it was knackered. No, mate, we just wait till I'm on screen at least, and then we get going. But like I said, I'm going to see if the winner from week 1 is here. That was called Steph, and the winner from week 2 was here, who was called Mikey. I think it was, weren't it? Hopefully he's here. I'll just message Steph because I know him personally, but he hasn't messaged. If not, we'll get started without him. He's had his chance. How are we all doing then anyway? Been a little bit colder today, hasn't it? Having said that, I've still got my shorts on. Refuse to give up. Should have been the last day of the season today as well, by the way. We should have been relegating Brighton today, which would have been fun. I'm sure you all agree. Would have enjoyed that. But we'll have to put up with just me relegating them on TalkSport, because that's what I did yesterday. Don't know if you follow the page on social media, the Turfcast page. But I played like a little roll-your-own football game with Max Rushton on TalkSport, and I played against Brighton. 1 attack, 1 goal, typical Burnley football. Unfortunately, it finished 1-1, but Brighton had 2 attacks, so I didn't think that was fair. But anyway, but we still sent them down, so that was fun. Simon says he's on the Moretti as well. I've had a message off week 1 quiz winner. The verdict is... he's on the quiz. Must not be watching the stream. Right, I think we've given it long enough. It's 6 minutes past now. So, Adam Quizmaster, if you are listening, which I know you are, can you please start the quiz on my quiz? Everybody, if you've got Facebook up now, now's the time to head over to my quiz to make sure you don't miss the first question. The first round will be on away days. Right, starting in 3 seconds, so let's go. Everyone get ready. Right, like I said, the first round is away days. So, who scored an 81st minute equaliser in the 2-2 draw away at Aston Villa in September 2019? Was it Jack Cork, Ashley Barnes, Jeff Hendrick or Chris Wood? So who scored an 81st minute equaliser in the 2-2 draw away at Aston Villa in September 2019? Was it Jack Cork, Ashley Barnes, Jeff Hendrick or Chris Wood? Good to see I've got quite a few people playing on my quiz this week, so it should be a competitive league table. Not sure Mikey's here, to be fair. I've not seen his name on my quiz, which is a shame. I was hoping to have a battle of the top 2. The answer was, of course, Chris Wood. So Jay Rodriguez got the first, I believe. Did that to the Villa fans because they were giving him a bit of grief, obviously being ex-West Brom. Lynn says Chris Wood, correct. You got there in time, I think, Lynn. Ray says Wood. Lindsay says Wood. I think you all got there in time. Anyway, next question. In April 2016, Burnley won 1-0 at Deepdale to close in on promotion. Who scored the Burnley goal? Was it George Boyd, Andre Gray, Joey Barton or Ben Mee? So in April 2016, Burnley won 1-0 at Deepdale to close in on promotion. Who scored the Burnley goal? Was it George Boyd, Andre Gray, Joey Barton or Ben Mee? Now again, if you do follow our page on social media, you will have seen this goal in the last couple of weeks. Simon says, a great start by me, then he follows that up with, I was there as well and got it wrong. Typical, his memory's like a sieve. And the answer was... Joey Barton, deflected free kick. Chris Hampson got it right. Lynn got it right. Ray got it right. Lindsay went for Boyd. Unlucky, Lindsay. But the answer was, of course, Joey Barton. And like I say, deflected free kick. Right, next question. Earlier that season, in February, Burnley won 2-1 away at which club to top the table for the first time? Was it Reading, Blackburn Rovers, Derby County or Bolton Wanderers? So earlier that season in February, obviously this was the title winning season, Burnley won 2-1 away at which club to top the table for the first time? Was it Reading? Forgive me for swearing, but option B is Blackburn Rovers. Was it C, Derby County, or was it D, Bolton Wanderers? Goals from Andre Gray and Sam Vokes, I think, or was it just, I can't remember. I think I know the answer, but I'm trying to work out the game and who scored, but I think it were them two. And the answer was, of course, D, Bolton Wanderers. Chris, you just got in there in time. Ray, you got it right as well. Well done, chaps. Good to see some of the regular names on the My Quiz. We've got Mia Worthington here again. Sean Horrocks here again. I think you were here last week, weren't you, Sean? John went Derby. Nigel, I think you just got in there in time. Anyway, next question. Who scored his first goal for Burnley in the 3-0 away win at Charlton Athletic in April 2014? So it's not the title winning season, this one. Was it Ashley Barnes, Scott Arfield, David Jones or Ben Mee? So who scored his first goal for Burnley in the 3-0 away win at Charlton Athletic in April 2014? Was it Ashley Barnes, Scott Arfield, David Jones or Ben Mee? Now, as you can see down there, if you're watching on the Facebook stream, we did an interview with David Jones this week on the podcast, an exclusive interview. If you haven't already, please go and check it out on our podcast channel or our YouTube channel. It is a cracker, if I do say so myself. I enjoyed it anyway. But anyway, the answer was Ashley Barnes. Not many guesses coming in on the Facebook stream for that one. But 56% of you on My Quiz got it right. Right, in 2009-10, Burnley won one Premier League away game. Who was it against? Was it Stoke City, Aston Villa, Birmingham City or Hull City? So in the 2009-2010 season, Burnley won only one Premier League away game. Who was it against? Was it Stoke City, Aston Villa, Birmingham City or Hull City? Quite an emphatic win as well. I won't give the score away. Don't want to have too many slip of the tongues to give any questions away. Ray has gone for Hull City. That's the only guess we've had on the Facebook stream at the minute. But well done, Ray. You got that one right. 4-0, 4-1, wasn't it? Alexander with a pen. I always remember that picture of Alexander celebrating like that with the fans and all the players behind him. Iconic picture from what was at the time an important win, but obviously ultimately we went down, didn't we? That's the end of that round then anyway. We have a quick look at the leaderboard between rounds. We have Dan leading the pack, Mia Worthington in second, both of them are on 30 points. Chubbs on 27, I presume that's you, Simon. Sean Horrocks on 26 and Dunk BFC on 22. Apologies to Chubbs, giving his credit away there, because it obviously isn't Simon. Simon, as he has said regularly, gets a lot of them wrong. The next round will be obviously the second round, and the theme will be red cards. So hopefully you're clued up on Burnley FC red cards. Right, you have 1 second until the next round starts. Right, here we go. Sorry, I should have given you a bit more time than that. Anyway, who was the most recent Burnley player to be sent off in a league game? Was it Jeff Hendrick, Robbie Brady, Ben Mee or Ashley Barnes? So who was the most recent Burnley player to be sent off in a league game? Was it Jeff Hendrick, Robbie Brady, Ben Mee or Ashley Barnes? I am getting a bit worried. I've not seen Steph's name pop up at any point here on the quiz. And I've not seen last week's winner either. So it looks like we're going to have a new winner. I don't think either of the current winners, previous winners are playing on my quiz. Chris has gone for Brady. And the answer was Robbie Brady. Robbie Brady was sent off on the 2nd of January 2019 against Huddersfield Town last season. Ray, you just got that in time as well. He went for Robbie Brady. Well done, boys. Lindsay, I think you just got there in time as well. Robbie Brady, correct. Right, next question. Which Burnley player was sent off in the away leg of the Olympiacos Europa League tie? Was it A, John Walters, B, Phil Bardsley, C, Ben Gibson, or D, Joe Hart? So which Burnley player was sent off in the away leg of the Olympiacos Europa League tie? Was it John Walters, Phil Bardsley, Ben Gibson, or Joe Hart? Simon says he had a good haircut with a red card. I remember this one. He only remembers when it's about him. Lewis Dunson says Gibson. Matthew says Gibson. Chris says Gibson. Lindsay says Gibson. All getting in nice and early. And a lot of you got it right on my quiz as well. The answer was, of course, Ben Gibson. And last week, we interviewed Matthew Lawton, and he spoke to me in depth about that game. He's pretty much Guster Town on the referee, as you would imagine. If you haven't already, please check that podcast out. Next question. Burnley played Leicester City on the 16th of March 2019 at Turf Moor. Which Leicester player was sent off after just 4 minutes? Was it Wes Morgan, Harry Maguire, Ben Chilwell, or James Maddison? So Burnley played Leicester City on the 16th of March 2019 at Turf Moor. Which Leicester player was sent off after just 4 minutes? Was it Wes Morgan, Harry Maguire, Ben Chilwell, or James Maddison? Still got beat. Lewis has gone for... I'll give it a few more seconds. Lewis has gone for Maguire. Matthew's gone for Maguire. Ray's gone for Maguire. Lindsay's gone for Maguire. Chris has also gone for Maguire. You all got it right on the Facebook stream. Well done. The answer was, of course, Harry Maguire. Sent off after 4 minutes, and I think we lost 2-1, wasn't it? 2-0? I can't remember. Yeah, note from the Quizmaster. I've just seen it there, 2-1. Right, next question. Which player received 5 red cards during his Burnley career? Was it Kieran Trippier, Michael Duff, Stephen Caldwell, or Clark Carlisle? So which player received 5 red cards during his Burnley career? Was it Kieran Trippier, Michael Duff, Stephen Caldwell, or Clark Carlisle? I guess any of them you could pick here if you didn't know the answer. I think Trips picked up some, didn't he? Duffo did, Caldwell did, Clark Carlisle were clumsy at times. Lewis has gone for Caldwell. Sandra's here, Sandra's gone for Duff. Ray's gone for Caldwell. The answer was Michael Duff. Well done, Sandra. I know for a fact she'll be celebrating in the front room right now. Ray and Matthew both went for Caldwell. The answer was Michael Duff. Clark Carlisle received 4. Stephen Caldwell received less than that. How many times was Adi Akinbaye sent off as a Burnley player? Next question. How many times was Adi Akinbaye sent off as a Burnley player? Was it none, 1, 2, or 3? So Adi Akinbaye was sent off how many times, as a Burnley player? Was it none, 1, 2, or 3? This is the final question of this round. The next round will be about central midfielders. Getting quite a few answered on my quiz now. Seems like the my quiz side of this quiz is growing, which is nice to see. Sandra's gone for 3. Thought he was a very aggressive player. The answer was 1. Ray got it right. Chris went for 2. Lynn went for 2. Just the once after 2 minutes on his Burnley debut. And if you remember rightly, it was against Sunderland. He head-butted somebody whose name I cannot remember. Yeah, Matthew got it right. 1 was a member 1, but not sure about any more. There wasn't any more. Like I said, just the 1. So the answer to that one is 1. Quick look at the league table. Dan is opening up a bit of a gap here. He's in first with 61 points. Sean Horrocks is second on 58. Mia Worthington is third on 52. We do have one of the previous champions in here. Steph's in fourth. Poor from you, Steph. Expected better, mate. On 45. He will come back and win it. I know he will. And Chubbs is in 5th on 42. If you're any lower than 5th, I'm sorry I can't see your username until you get into the top 5. So that is your incentive. Get into the top 5 and I'll give you a shout out. Anyway, next round is on central midfielders, and that starts in 5 seconds. Round 3. First question. Which midfielder signed from Fulham made his Burnley Football Club debut in August 2000 and played his final game in April 2002? Was it Tony Grant, Kevin Ball, John Harley or Lenny John Rose? So which midfielder who signed from Fulham made his Burnley debut in August 2000 and played his final game in April 2002? Was it Tony Grant, Kevin Ball, John Harley or Lenny John Rose? Sandra's gone for John Rose. Lynn's gone for John Harley. But the answer was Kevin Ball. Most of you went for John Harley on my quiz. Tough tackling Kevin Ball. I think we all remember that tackle, don't we? Here comes the boom. Straight on Fat Boy Dumb. Deserved it, probably. Anyway, which midfielder followed in his father's footsteps in playing for Burnley? He was a Clarets between 1993 and 1996. Was it Warren Joyce, Adi Randall, Rooster Kevin Russell or Andy Farrell? So which midfielder followed in his father's footsteps in playing for Burnley? Excuse me. He was a Clarets between 1993 and 1996. Was it Warren Joyce, Adi Randall, Kevin Russell or Andy Farrell? I don't know this one, I'll be honest with you. I think I know it. But I'm not 100%. Sandra's gone for Farrell. Lynn's gone for Warren Joyce. The answer is Warren Joyce, that's who I thought it was. I know I can say that now, but I promise. Chris, you just got it in time. So did you, Lewis. Both of you went for Joyce. Well done. It was Warren Joyce. His dad, Walter, was a farm player for Burnley in the 1960s, says the Quizmaster. Right, next question. Which midfielder played his final game for Burnley on the 13th of August 2016 at home to Swansea City? So which midfielder played his final game for Burnley on the 13th of August 2016 at home to Swansea City? Was it David Jones, Dean Marney, Frederick Ulverstad or Scott Arfield? So which midfielder played his final game for Burnley on the 13th of August 2016 at home to Swansea City? David Jones, Dean Marney, Frederick Ulverstad or Scott Arfield? Now, with only 2 seconds left, I'll say this. If you listen to the podcast this week, you might have got this one right because it was, of course, David Jones. And we had David Jones as an exclusive guest on the podcast this week. If you haven't already, please check it out. Lewis got it right in time. Sandra, you got it right in time. Sandra's obviously listened this week. And so have you, Lewis. Maybe. Anyway, next question. Lynn got it in just in time. Chris went for Ulverstad. Anyway, next question. True or false? John Deary's middle name is Steele. He's got a best friend called Magnet. So true or false? John Deary's middle name is Steele. Come together like Magnet and Steele. Shout out to Dan, who's tweeted on Twitter, who's also playing. Says he's had a few beers on the car, so he doesn't think he'll do very well. Currently in second, Dan. Don't put yourself down, mate. Lynn's gone for false. Lewis has gone for true. Sandra's gone for false. The answer was, of course... Oh, he's tight on my quiz. The answer was true. John Steele Deary was born in October 1962 in Ormskirk, Lancashire. So he has an unusual middle name, I think it's fair to say. John Steele Deary. Anyway, next question. Which midfielder scored his first Burnley goal in a 3-0 win over Ipswich Town in September 2005? Was it Chris McCann, Wade Elliott, Joey Goodjohnson, the original Iceman, or Brian Stock? So which midfielder scored his first Burnley goal in a 3-0 win over Ipswich Town in September 2005? Was it Chris McCann, Wade Elliott, Joey Goodjohnson or Brian Stock? Now this is the last round, the last question of this round. The next round is the 2017-18 season, part 2. Simon Maru says hard questions this week. Well, the quiz master is testing you, obviously. Shout out to Adam for all his hard work. The answer was Chris McCann. I'll be honest, I didn't know that one. I'm not going to lie to you and say I did when I didn't. But anyway, like I said, shout out goes to Adam. He does all the questions. He puts everything into my quiz so we can have this league table and all that. Please check him out on Instagram. That's his page at the bottom of the screen there. If you're listening and not watching, it's called the Clarets Quiz. He does daily Clarets quizzes. He's having a bit of a break at the minute because he's working hard and he's one of the lucky ones, if you want to call it, who's still working. Unfortunate, maybe some might say. But he's still working, so he's quite snowed under. So he's not doing it for a little bit. But if you go and follow him when it starts up again, then everything's there ready for you. Sandra says we're on fire. She must have got more than one right this week. Chris went for Stock. Ray went for Elliott. Quickly do a quick leaderboard update. We've got Sean at top of the table with 73. Dan with 67. Eddie with 66. Steph with 64. I think he's catching the top a little bit there, is Steph, to be fair. And Dunk BFC in 5th with 59. Anyway, the next round, like I said, it's starting now and is on the 2017-18 season. In October 2017, Burnley beat Newcastle United 1-0 at Turf Moor. Who scored the goal? Was it Ben Mee, Jeff Hendrick, Ashley Westwood or Jack Cork? So in October 2017, Burnley beat Newcastle United 1-0 at Turf Moor. Who scored the only goal? As a bike goes past my house, if you heard that noise. Was it Ben Mee, Jeff Hendrick, Ashley Westwood or Jack Cork? I've gone through this beer pretty quick. Don't know if the Beer Moretti lads have gone through their beers pretty quick, but this is the last one I had in the house, so I'm pretty distraught right now. Lewis has gone for Hendrick. Rachel's gone for Hendrick. Chris has gone for Hendrick. And the answer was Jeff Hendrick. I think that one, Morsey got that right on the stream. Morsey got that right on my quiz. Jeff and Lynn, Thomas and Lynn and Lindsay all getting in there in that time. But the answer was, like I said, correct, Jeff Hendrick. Right, on Boxing Day 2017, Burnley went to Old Trafford. What was the final score? So on Boxing Day 2017, Burnley went to Old Trafford. What was the final score? Excuse me. Was it 1-0, 0-0, 1-1 or 2-2? So on Boxing Day 2017, Burnley went to Old Trafford. What was the final score? 1-0, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. Lewis has gone for 2-2. Getting in there nice and quick, Lewis. Very quick with your answers. Lindsay's gone for 2-2. Rachel's gone for 2-2. Thomas has gone for 2-2. Never said 2-2 so much in my life. Everyone's going for Desmond. Desmond 2-2. And it was, of course, 2-2. It was Desmond. Sandra got it in just in time as well. Well done. It finished 2-2. Ashley Barnes and Stephen Defoe scored for Burnley. That beauty of a free kick. But United scored a late equaliser as usual. Right. Burnley went 11 games without a win between December and March in the 2017-18 season, obviously. Who did they finally beat 2-1 at Turf Moor in March? So Burnley went 11 games without a win between December and March. Who did they finally beat 2-1 at Turf Moor in March? Was it Everton, Swansea City, West Ham United or Liverpool? So Burnley went 11 games without a win between December and March. Who did they finally beat 2-1 at Turf Moor in March? Was it Everton, Swansea City, West Ham or Liverpool? Massive, massive win. This one was massive win. We needed it. The answer was Everton. It was Everton. Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood scored the Burnley goals. Rachel got it right. Sandra got it right. Lewis went for Swansea. Thomas got it right. Chris went for West Ham. Morsey got it right on my quiz as well. Anyway, next question. During an 8-game spell between February and April, Barnes and Wood were on fire. How many goals did they score combined in those 8 games? So I'll just read that again. So during an 8-game spell between February and April, Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood were on fire. How many goals did they score combined in those 8 games? Was it 11 goals, 9 goals, 7 goals and 5 goals? This really fired us up the table. Really fired us up the table. So was it 11 goals, 9 goals, 7 goals or 5 goals? The most memorable one of these goals has to be Ashley Barnes over a kick at West Brom, it were, weren't it? Lewis has gone for 11. Any more guesses coming in on Facebook? Lindsay's gone for 11. Lynn's gone for 11. Rachel's gone for 11. And the answer was 11. Well done, everybody. They scored 11 times in 8 games. Ashley Barnes got 6 and Chris Wood got 5. Sandra got it right just in time. Thomas got it right just in time as well. Next question, the last question of this round. Burnley's final win of the season came on the 14th of April at Turf Moor, but who was it against? Was it Manchester United, Leicester City, Stoke City or Brighton? So Burnley's final win of the 2017-18 season came on the 14th of April at Turf Moor. Who was it against? Was it Manchester United, Leicester City, Stoke City or Brighton and Hove Albion? I won't say too much on this game. I don't want to give it away. The answer was Leicester City. Sandra got it right. Chris, you got it right just in time. It was Leicester City. Chris Wood and Kevin Long both scored early to put Burnley ahead. I think it finished 2-0, 2-1, didn't it? But that one was massive because that one was the one that gave us a bit of breathing space between them and 7th. We were in 7th, they were in 8th. And that's the moment when I thought to myself, we are going on a European tour here. Just a quick look at the league table. Sean Horrocks still top of the table with 101 points. He's extended his lead now. Eddie's gone above Dan into second with 93 points. Dan is in third with 89. Steph is still in fourth on 87. I still sensed a late comeback from Steph. And Andrew Sisson, who's a bit of a regular, plays every week. How are you doing, Andrew? He's in fifth as well. Like I said, sorry if I can't see your username yet, but you need to be in the top 5 to be able to be seen by me. Next round is starting in 10 seconds and will be questions about Jimmy McIlroy. So hopefully you're all clued up on your Jimmy McIlroy knowledge. Anyway, starting now. So Jimmy McIlroy joined Burnley from which Irish club? So Jimmy McIlroy joined Burnley from which Irish club? Was it A, Ards, B, Glentoran, C, Linfield or D, Crusaders? Excuse me. So Jimmy McIlroy joined Burnley from which Irish club? Was it A, Ards, B, Glentoran, C, Linfield or D, Crusaders? Feel free to put your questions in the Facebook comments as you have been doing. I don't mind that. Lynn's gone for Glentoran. Lindsay's gone for Glentoran. Lewis has gone for Glentoran. Chris has gone for Glentoran. The answer was Glentoran. He joined from Glentoran in 1949, aged just 18. I think Sandra's tried to spell Glentoran, but a predictive text has got it wrong. Peter said Shamrock Rovers. So tell Peter that wasn't an option. It was Glentoran. Well done, everyone who got that right. Most of you did. How much did Burnley pay to bring Jimmy to Turf Moor? Rachel, I think you got it in just in time. Well done, by the way. But how much did Burnley pay to bring Jimmy to Turf Moor? Was it £8,000, £80,000, excuse me, £800,000 or £8 million? It's that beer. Very good. Very, very gassy, that beer. So how much did Burnley pay to bring Jimmy to Turf Moor? Was it £8,000, £80,000, £800,000 or £8 million? I think this is one of the ones that if you don't know the answer to, you could just put 2 and 2 together and make an educated guess. The answer was £8,000. Someone has selected £8 million. They paid £8,000 to bring Jimmy to McIlroy to Turf Moor in the 40s, as we've just said earlier. Whoever put 8 million on my quiz, then that would imagine the amount of money that would have been in the 40s. Most of you got that right on Facebook as well. Anyway, next question. Only one player has made more league appearances for the club than Jimmy Mack. Who is it? Leighton James, Brian Miller, Jerry Dawson or Alex Elder? So only one player has made more league appearances for Burnley than Jimmy McIlroy. Who is it? Is it Leighton James, Brian Miller, Jerry Dawson or Alex Elder? There's one for the older generation, this one. This entire round is, to be fair. I won't mention any names of my regulars. I don't want to offend anybody. You know who you are. The answer was Lynn's gone for Jerry Dawson. Rachel's also gone for Jerry Dawson. Well done, the answer was Jerry Dawson. Goalkeeper Jerry Dawson, who made 522 appearances for the club. Lewis, you got it in just in time as well, I think, to be fair. Chris has gone for Elder. Anyway, next question. Jimmy McIlroy controversially left Turf Moor in 1963 to join which club? Was it Manchester City, Preston North End, Liverpool or Stoke City? So Jimmy McIlroy controversially left Turf Moor in 1963 to join which club? Manchester City, Preston North End, Liverpool or Stoke City? Probably should have drank more of that. I'm just going to keep getting gassy, aren't I? Lynn's gone for Stoke City. Lindsay's also gone for Stoke City. Chris has gone for Stoke City. And the answer was, of course, Rachel just in time as well, Stoke City. He left Turf Moor to join Stoke City in controversial circumstances. Some supporters have vowed never to set foot in Turf Moor again. It's a bit drastic. Anyway, next question. After his playing career was over, Jimmy had an 18-day spell managing which football club? So after his playing career was over, Jimmy McIlroy had an 18-day spell managing which football club? Was it West Brom? Again, apologies for swearing. Blackburn Rovers, Bolton Wanderers or Carlisle United? I nearly said Carlisle then. So after his playing career was over, Jimmy McIlroy had an 18-day spell managing which football club? Was it West Brom, Blackburn Rovers, Bolton Wanderers or Carlisle United? Lynn's gone for Oldham. Lindsay's gone for Bolton. Chris has gone for Oldham as well. Rachel's gone for Bedford. Rachel Bedford's gone for Bolton, sorry. Lewis has gone for Bolton. But it was Bolton. He took charge of Bolton Wanderers following Nat Lofthouse's departure, but soon resigned in principle, having been told to sell players, which is obviously something he wasn't told was going to happen in the interview process, I presume. Anyway, next, like we will, as usual between rounds, we will look at the leaderboard. Steph's dropped down to 5th. That will be, it'll be devastating for Steph. That he's got a crown to try and protect. Chubbs is in 5th with 105 points. Eddie's got 108 points in 3rd. Andrew Sisson's got 108 points as well. So it's very tight between 5th and 2nd. But Sean Horrocks is now starting to build a gap. Who is now on 125 points. And that's the 5th round. There's only 7 rounds. So you've only got 2 rounds to catch him, lads and lasses. The next round is on Kieran Trippier. I'll just quickly change the thing at the bottom as well because I don't know if you've seen it. Last week we did an interview with Matthew Lawton, as you can see now on the bottom. If you haven't already, please do go and check that out. It's on the podcast page and our YouTube channel. Anyway, next question. This round, like I said, is all on Kieran Trippier. How many caps does Kieran Trippier have for the England senior side? So how many caps does Kieran Trippier have for the England senior side? Is it 9 caps, 19 caps, 29 caps or 39 caps? So Kieran Trippier has how many caps for the England senior side? Is it 9, 19, 29 and 39? And obviously, I presume you're all aware now that the quicker you answer the question, the more points you get on my quiz. I'll just point out that I know Steph is desperate to get his crown back because he answered that question first. So it's on in Steph's head. He's trying to get this crown back. Lewis has gone for 19. Lindsay's gone for 19. Rachel's gone for 19. Lynn's gone for 19. And the answer was 19. I watched the highlights of that semi-final today where he scored that free kick. Don't know why I did that to myself. Still breaks my heart. So during the 2013-14 promotion season, his only league goal was a late winner versus which team on New Year's Day? Was it Blackpool, Huddersfield Town, Reading or Wigan Athletic? So during the 2013-14 promotion season, Kieran Trippier's only league goal was a late winner against which team on New Year's Day? Was it Blackpool, Huddersfield, Reading or Wigan? Not many guesses rolling in on Facebook for this one. Lewis just in time got Huddersfield. But the answer was, of course, Huddersfield. It was the third in a 3-2 win against Huddersfield Town. Most of you got that right on my quiz, but most of you got it wrong on Facebook. Next question. Kieran Trippier was named in the Championship Team of the Year twice. Kieran Trippier was named in the Championship Team of the Year. Which two teammates joined him in the team in 2013-14? So Kieran Trippier was named in the Championship Team of the Year twice. Which two teammates joined him in the team in 2013-14? Was it Jason Shackle and Danny Ings, Tom Eaton and Dean Marney, Sam Vokes and David Jones, or Scott Arfield and Michael Cartley? So which two players joined Kieran Trippier in the Championship Team of the season in the 2013-14 season? Was it Shackle and Ings, Heaton and Marney, Vokes and Jones, or Arfield and Cartley? If you think of the season and think of the amount of goals that certain people scored and the amount of clean sheets we had, it's again one you can make an educated guess at, but the answer was Jason Shackle and Danny Ings. Obviously Ings, he scored millions of goals pretty much, and Shackle, I think we're over the fact that he decided to go back to Bolton. He was absolute rock at the back that year. Anyway, Kieran Trippier scored his first Burnley goal away at which club in December 2011? Was it West Brom, Brighton, Preston or Reading? So Kieran Trippier scored his first Burnley goal away at which club in December 2011? Was it West Brom, Brighton, Preston or Reading? The lead at the top between Sean and the rest of the pack, by the way, is widening. Steph's managed to get himself up to fourth, but that's it. He's only 1 point off second, to be fair. Again, not many guesses rolling in on the Facebook stream at the minute, but the answers come through. Lewis and Sandra just got in time. The answers come through, and so did you, Lynn. It was Brighton, an absolute screamer, and it was the only goal in that game at Brighton in December 2011. A certain Ashley Barnes was sent off after 12 minutes. I did say Kieran Trippier, Nathan. With which club did Kieran Trippier make his Football League debut? Was it Burnley, Rochdale, Bury or Barnsley? So with which club did Kieran Trippier make his Football League debut? Was it Burnley, Rochdale, Bury or Barnsley? So with which club did Kieran Trippier make his Football League debut? Burnley, Rochdale, Bury or Barnsley? Lynn has gone for Barnsley. Lewis has gone for Barnsley. Kieran's gone for Barnsley. Rachel's gone for Barnsley. Pauline Stott's gone for Barnsley. Chris Hampson's gone for Barnsley. Lindsay's gone for Barnsley. You're all bang on. It was Barnsley. He spent a season on loan at Ortwell before his move to Burnley. Just did what the BBC do and got Burnley and Barnsley mixed up. What an idiot. Anyway, that's the penultimate round. So we'll just have a quick look at the league table here now. Sean Horrocks is still top and he's extended his league now. There's only one round left, so I think Sean's going to win it. Andrew Sisson is in second on 130 points. Eddie is in third on 130 points as well. Steph's only 2 points off second still in 128 points. And Chubbs is in fifth with 120 points. So still all to play for in terms of the Champions League places. I'm sure Steph will like to try and finish second here if I know Steph. But Sean, it looks like he has an unassailable lead unless like his internet cuts off now. Fingers crossed for everyone else playing, but I think Sean's won it. Anyway, next round, and the final round is coming up in less than a second, and it's on own goals. Anyway, a long-range strike from Trent Alexander-Arnold was credited as an own goal against which Burnley player at the start of this season in August? Was it Ben Mee, Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, or James Tarkowski? So a long-range strike from Trent Alexander-Arnold was credited as an own goal against which Burnley player in August 2019, which was, of course, the start of this season? Was it Ben Mee, Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, or James Tarkowski? Excuse me, that beer again. Very gassy. Pauline's gone for Chris Wood. Lynn's gone for Chris Wood. Lewis has gone for Chris Wood. And the answer was Chris Wood. Everybody got it right on Facebook, but quite a few got it wrong on my quiz. Quite harsh, I think, for me. It was just a deflection. I can't really remember it that well. I seem to remember it already being on target. I can't remember. Anyway, which West Ham United goalkeeper scored a calamitous own goal at Turf Moor in November 2019? So, which West Ham United goalkeeper scored a calamitous own goal at Turf Moor in November 2019? Was it Roberto, Fabianski, Randolph, or Adrian? So, which West Ham United goalkeeper scored a calamitous own goal at Turf Moor in November 2019? Was it Roberto, Fabianski, Randolph, or Adrian? Darren says he's intrigued about the headboard. Very fancy. I know, Darren. I know. It's very Instagrammable. Very Instagrammable. Trust me, I've took many pictures for my missus while she's sat on that bed. Not that sounds a bit rude, actually. I didn't mean it like that. But the answer was, of course, Roberto. That sounded very rude, didn't it? I've just realised how bad that sounded. It was goalkeeper Roberto who flapped at an in-swinging corner and punched the ball into his own goal. Sandra says Benson for bed. Sandra probably bought it for us, to be fair, so she probably knows. Right, next question. Which Liverpool defender scored a comical own goal to put Burnley through to the 4th round of the FA Cup in January 2005? I'm pretty certain everyone will get this one right. Was it Jimmy Traore, Jamie Carragher, Stefan Onshaw, or Sami Hyypiä? So which Liverpool defender scored a comical own goal to put Burnley through to the 4th round of the FA Cup in January 2005? Was it Jimmy Traore, Jamie Carragher, Stefan Onshaw, or Sami Hyypiä? I think even people who aren't Burnley fans that are watching this, like Darren, will get this one right. Lynn says, what you do in your spare time is your own business. Very right, Lynn, but it was a slip of the tongue. Again, probably could have used a better term than that. But the answer was Jimmy Traore. It was Jimmy Traore who Cruyff turned Richard Chapel's cross into his own goal. Lynn, you got it right. Lindsay got it right. Chris got it right. Lewis got it right. Rachel got it right. I think everybody got that one right. Apart from one person, I think, who selected Sami Hyypiä on my quiz. Sandra says first one, correct. Right, which Newcastle United player put through his own goal when Burnley drew 3-3 at St James's Park in 2015? Was it Dummett, Colaccini, Taylor, or Colback? So which Newcastle United player put through his own goal when Burnley drew 3-3 at St James's Park in January 2015? Was it Dummett, Colaccini, Taylor, or Colback? Lewis has gone for Dummett. Lindsay's gone for Dummett. And the answer was Dummett. Rachel, you got in there just in time as well. Well done. It was defender Paul Dummett. Danny Ings and George Boyd also scored that in that game for Burnley. They would come from behind quite a lot as well. I seem to remember that one being quite a good game, that one. Rebecca, you probably just got in there just in time as well. You got that one right. Anyway, final question. Which Burnley player headed Bournemouth in front with an own goal in April 2019? Was it Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Jack Cork, or James Tarkowski? So which Burnley player headed Bournemouth in front with an own goal in 2019? Was it Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Jack Cork, or James Tarkowski? Darren says he's trying to count how many cushions I have on the bed and do they have to be in a particular order. Yes, the missus is very peculiar about which order they have to go in. It's the big ones, then the ones without the pattern on it, then the ones with the pattern on it, then the little ones at the front. Paul Ingalls for Barnes, Lynn goes for Barnes, Lindsay goes for Barnes. The answer was Lewis just in time. Sandra's gone for Tarks, but it was Ashley Barnes. It was Ashley Barnes, but Darren will Darren's a Bournemouth fan, and he would like to know the final score for this one. Burnley won 3-1, so get in there, the Clarets. We won 3-1, fought back, and Ashley Barnes actually scored the third goal. But that's the end of the quiz. Rachel, you just got in there in time. Chris, well done, you just got in there in time. But that's the end of the quiz. Steph, well done, mate. Well done, you got second. I'm sure he'll take that, will Steph. But congratulations to Sean Horrocks. You are this week's winner with 189 points. I think you did very well there, Sean. You've extended the lead throughout. I think you were top after the first. No, Dan were top for a bit, weren't he? And then you've got up top quite early on, to be fair, and then held your own there. So well done. You've done nothing but extend your lead. Mia Worthington finished down in 8th. She were top for a bit. Dan, you're in 4th. I'll just read out the entire top 10. Sean Horrocks first, Steph second, Eddie third, Dan 4th, Andrew Sisson 5th, Dunk BFC in 6th, Chubbs in 7th, Mia Worthington in 8th, King Chop 79, how you doing, mate? You were playing last week. And Gary 987 in 10th. Simon Morroose says 11th place this week, so you just missed out on the top 10. Dan Barnes says he's buzzing with a top 4 finish. Champions League next season, mate, but you've got to get through the qualifier. Hopefully you get an easier route than Burnley did in the Europa League. And Everton, the last time they qualified, do you remember? I think they played Valencia when Valencia were good and obviously didn't get through. But that's it for this week. Just a bit of news as well. What I'll quickly do at the minute as well, I'll just change the banner at the bottom. That's the Instagram page for the Quizmaster. Nice lad called Adam, does all the hard work. But as I said, he is taking a bit of a break at the minute. So that means he isn't going to be doing the My Quiz section of this next week, but we are going to do it anyway. I'll just have to do it myself, chatting to the camera. I might see how much my quiz is and stuff, and see if I can actually get my quiz. I'll let you all know actually. But Adam, who runs the Clarets quiz page, who does all the questions for us and puts everything into my quiz, essentially does all the hard work. I just sit here and talk to all you lot and have a beer doing it. He's having a few weeks off because, like I said, he's one of the guys that's still at work, so he's very, very busy. But we appreciate all his hard work. It's been an absolute joy doing it and working with Adam. So obviously, more than happy for him to have some time off. Not that I'm holding him to Ramsden or he can't or anything, but. It will be different next week, probably. It will probably be different next week because I don't have my quiz, but I'm still going to do it anyway because I know it's growing every week now, so I think it'd be a shame just for me to stop it. I know people like Steph and certain people do like to play every week. I know Dan's a new one this week. I'll want to play next week. I've seen a few names this week as well, and some of the regulars again. So we'll definitely be doing it next week. I will probably do it without my quiz. We'll probably just be chatting to the camera like this and not having a my quiz. But thanks everyone who played. If you haven't already, please follow us on all the social media channels. You're obviously following us on Facebook now. That's why you're watching me on Facebook. But we're also on YouTube. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. I am on TikTok as well, but I don't use it anymore. I just do a few Burnley videos and then I didn't do it anymore. And if you haven't already, please check out our exclusive interviews. We did David Jones this week, which I put out on Thursday, and Matthew Lawton the week before, which I put out last Thursday. All you have to do is go onto your preferred podcast provider and just type in Turfcast, and then you'll find everything there. Just go onto the relevant podcast that you want to go on, and then you'll be there and you'll hear it all. But like I said, we're all going to do it next week, but it'll just be a little bit different next week. Please check out the podcast if you haven't already. Please follow us on all the social media channels if you haven't already. And I will hopefully see the majority of you last week. As you can probably hear my little boy shouting in the background. He obviously wants something, so I'm going to have to go. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye.